In today's video, I'm going to be going over the 5 main mistakes that I made when I published my first book through Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Dane, and on this channel I talk all about self-publishing books on Amazon, on entrepreneurship, and just lifestyle in general. So if that kind of thing interests you, make sure you subscribe, drop a like on the video, and hit the notification bell so you know when I post new videos. In today's video, like I said, I'm going to be talking about the 5 main mistakes that I made when I published my very first book through Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing and Audible ACX. Now, these 5 mistakes, I've mentioned a few of the mistakes in past videos, but a few of them I haven't talked about before. And I just want to talk about it now because I know there are going to be a lot of new people getting into self-publishing when it comes to 2022. And it's January of 2022 right now. We're just starting off with this new year. So I wanted to make this video as soon as I possibly could to make sure that all you guys who are just getting into self-publishing don't make these same mistakes that I made when I first started. A few of these mistakes are bigger than others. Some of them aren't the biggest deal. And then some of them can make or break your book when you first publish it. So I want to make sure that I cover all 5 of them. I'm not going into extreme detail on each 5 of them because there are 5 of them and I need to talk about each of them. I don't want this video to be too long, but I do have around 3 or 4 main points per mistake to explain exactly how they happened and what you can do to avoid each mistake. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump on my computer. I'll talk about these 5 mistakes and show you exactly what they are and how you can avoid them. So mistake number 1 is I picked a keyword emotionally instead of basing my pick off of the numbers. And what I mean by this is numbers don't lie. So trust your keyword research. And when it comes to keyword research, there are certain numbers like the amount of competition, the average BSR, which indicates the demand for the book or the keyword, that do come into play. And if you don't pay attention to those numbers and you just pick a keyword because you want to make it it's your favorite topic ever and you think everyone else is interested in that topic, odds are everyone isn't interested in that topic as much as you are, and the demand and the competition, the demand won't be there and the competition will just be very high for whatever keyword it is that you're picking if you don't base it off of your keyword research in the first place. So in my situation, I picked a topic I thought everyone wanted to buy a book about. Instead, it was really just me. I mean, some people maybe wanted to buy a book about it, but generally speaking, not very many people were interested in this certain topic that I thought was super interesting. I wanted to make a book about so badly. And unfortunately, the demand for this topic just wasn't there. So don't make my mistake. Find a topic you have interest in. Okay, still won't have interest in the topic, whether it's extreme interest or some interest at least, but verify the demand and the demand is there and the competition is low for that particular topic. Okay, and you can do this by looking at average BSR numbers, which you can do through the Chrome extension called Bookbeam, which I talk about in many other videos. I'm not going to detail what it is right now, but using that tool, you can find out what the average BSR is, and you can also find out how much competition you have by just looking at the results, the top left of the page when you search your keyword, and seeing if there are less than 5,000 results, and that means there's not a whole lot of competition. Less than 10,000 means you can probably get away with it, and if there's more than 10,000 people competing for that individual keyword, 10,000 results, then you might have a difficult time trying to compete for that keyword. Mistake number 2 that I made when I first self-published my first book was that the cover I used just was very bad, just wasn't very good, and I didn't test other options. All right, so I was being a bit lazy, to be honest with you. And this can go for anything on your listing too, so don't get me wrong. Your cover can be bad, but your book description can be bad, your title can be bad, those other things can be bad as well. Your A+ content can be very bad. The cover is going to be the main one though, because that's usually what people see when they first are scrolling through Amazon when they see your book. It's their first impression. Right? So that cover needs to be high quality. In my situation, I didn't test different covers and instead I just used the same one for the first few months. And this was a mistake on my part, and this is something that I recommend everybody do. So instead, every 2 weeks when your book is new, when it's live on Amazon, when you launch it, try a different cover. Try out different covers. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks into the launch, try a secondary cover, try a third cover. Even if that first cover is absolutely killing it, it's worth it to try a new cover 3 weeks in, maybe 2 weeks in. Try that new cover for 2 or 3 weeks and see how it does in comparison to the first one, because you never really know. And by the 2nd or 3rd month after you've tried a few covers, go back, check the data, see how many sales you made while that cover was live, and base your data off of that and pick the cover that did the best. Because those little tiny optimizations like that are what are going to make the biggest difference when it comes to your sales and how your book does throughout its lifespan. Mistake number 3 for me, and this is pretty specific, but it could be your situation as well, so I wanted to mention it, was that I had a book that was really more suited for audio format rather than KDP and like ebooks and paperbacks. It was more suited for audiobooks. And this was kind of like, I think if I had to do a percentage, it was like maybe 70% of my sales probably would have come from audio and 30% of my sales maybe from KDP if I would have focused on Audible a little bit more in the beginning. So all I did for the first 3 months was have it on KDP. I didn't even put it onto Audible in an audiobook format. And this was leaving a whole bunch of money on the table. So this is something that you got to consider if you're publishing a book. Think about it. Is your book more suited for audio format or paperback ebook format? Because those are two different formats, and there are specific audiences on both of the platforms, Audible and Amazon. So your book might be well suited for audio format and you don't have it on there. You're leaving a lot of money on the table, which is what I did in the beginning. So as I said here, this is why it's so important to always consider an audio version of your book. And I see a lot of people do this. They have the book on KDP for like a year and they never put it into Audible. But once they put it on Audible, that audio format of their book starts generating more sales than their paperback and ebooks were generating on a month-to-month basis, which is crazy. So again, sometimes the audio version of your book will see way more sales in the ebooks and paperbacks. So make sure you consider this when you're publishing your first book. Mistake number 4 was that my launch was stagnant/blind. I'm sure you could have guessed this one. This is probably the most common one, probably the most common error that a lot of people are going to make when they publish their first book. Their launch during maybe the first day your book was live to the 31st, usually the first month that your book is live. If you don't take advantage of that first 30 days, your book probably won't sell as good as you want it to. And it's just plain simple. It's just how it is. So I simply uploaded the book to Amazon and I let it sit there. Okay, I thought that once my work here was done was when I uploaded it to the Amazon platform. So like I got it written, got the cover made, published it, and was like, okay, now I can sit back. My work is done. I don't have to do anything. And unfortunately, that is very far from the truth. Your work is not done once the book is live. In fact, your work is honestly just beginning. This is the biggest part of the book's lifespan right here. That first 30 days is crucial. It's make or break for your book. Having a solid pre-launch and launch phase is a major key to ever getting your book to sell. And there's things that go into it, getting pre-readers, putting that thing onto Booksprout, utilizing websites like Pubbie for more reviews, utilizing promo sites to promote your free book, your paid book, whatever it may be, to really boost your sales during the first month to get Amazon's algorithm liking your book so that it ranks organically on the first or second page for your main keyword and you get sales throughout the lifespan of your book. And I do have multiple videos about launches. I'm not going to detail about how to do a launch properly. I think around 3 or 4 videos back I posted one. So go on my channel and look through there. I'll show you exactly how to do a proper launch. And finally, reason number 5, this is a pretty obvious one as well, and I've talked about this in a past video, but I wanted to mention it now in case you're new to self-publishing, you're just coming across this video, is that my first mistake, one of my biggest mistakes, was I was hesitant to invest in Amazon ads. And I can see why this is scary, because you got to put money up front in order to get money back. And that's the most scariest thing. It's as simple as that. People are scared to put money up front in order to get money back. And I understand that. And that's what it is with Amazon ads. So it can be a bit intimidating. But in the beginning, I was solely relying on organic traffic, which usually lets you off disappointed. Okay, and I put my book on Amazon, like I said, I let it sit there and I was like, okay, now I'm gonna get sales and I'm good to go. Doesn't work like that. Amazon ads are also a very crucial part of that book launch phase once your book goes live. So simply investing just a small budget into Amazon ads to help with sales and ranking your book makes a huge difference, okay? And you'll be surprised just by putting maybe, I don't know, $5 to $10 a day in the beginning into your book, into the Amazon ads, really will rank that thing and get it going. It's as simple as that. And I have other videos on my channel about Amazon ads and how to set them up. I'm just talking about don't hesitate to invest in Amazon ads like I did in the beginning. It can ruin your book's lifespan for sure. And as you can imagine, I was afraid of losing money, but if your book and your niche are solid, so your book is high quality, the niche you picked is good, has demand, investing in Amazon ads will only bring you in more money in the long run. Those Amazon ads are crucial for getting your book in front of eyes, buying eyes in the beginning in order to get those sales, start your book ranking process, and build your publishing business from scratch, okay? Amazon ads are the foundation of everything in the beginning when you don't have anything like an email list or any other traffic coming towards your book. And a bonus one, I mentioned this in a recent video, but I wanna mention it again because it is crucial and something I didn't do, is adding your book into additional categories. So one thing that people don't really know, they're not aware of, is when you publish your book onto Amazon, you can only publish it into 2 specific categories for the ebook and the paperback book. But once it's live, you can contact Amazon support and ask them to add it into 8 additional categories. And by doing this, your book is getting into additional categories where more eyes will see your book. It's basically free advertising. So this is something that you definitely should do once your book is live on Amazon, is contact support and get them to add your book into additional categories that suit your book, but also have less competition. So for example, you need to send them an email that says something like this. You can see on the screen here is a chain. So you can see it's like books, crafts. So you have to find the chain of each category that you find your book into. Email Amazon a list of these chains that you want your book to be added into, and they'll do it for you. It's the simplest thing ever, but it can get you more sales, and it's definitely a good little ninja trick if you're new to self-publishing. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed learning about my 5 main mistakes that I made with my first book so you don't make them, okay? If you have any more suggestions or any questions down below, make sure you leave them in the comment section down below. I will answer them as soon as possible. In the meantime, if you have additional questions or anything like that, you can join my 100% free Facebook group. You can do that by clicking the first link in the description down below. It'll take you to my Facebook group, which has almost 6,000 people in it now. You can see this is a bit old. It's 2,500 in the screenshot there. Now there's around 6,000 people in it. You can ask any question you want in that group, post in there. I am active in there. I'll answer them. There's other people who are successful self-publishing in there who will answer all of your questions. And also, when you join the group, there is a 5-step guide to getting started with self-publishing pinned to the very top of it. Okay, so that is a free Facebook group. I hope to see you in there. Again, if you want to join it, make sure you click the link in the description down below. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you drop a like on it, hit subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when I post new videos. I try to post new videos every single week about self-publishing, like today, lifestyle, online entrepreneurship, all that good stuff. So again, make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.